From Sci News, new species of Antarctic plesiosaur. From prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guide Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know. Now, let's get into the animal news of the day. A new genus and species of Elasmosaurid, a type of plesiosaur with an extremely long, slender neck. I'd say most plesiosaurs had long necks, regardless of the family that we're referring to. Even if you venture back to the Jurassic with certain cryptocyclids, even though they, on average, had shorter necks compared to their body size, unlike the later Cretaceous elasmosaurids, I wouldn't call them short. But if you're talking about Plesiosauridae as a whole, then yes, there are certain families that would have had certain shorter next, but they were very distantly related to the more stereotypical elasmosaurids or cryptocyclids. Has been identified from the fossilized remains found near the Marambio base, a permanent all year round Argentine Antarctica station on Marambio Island. Okay, so here is a goofy Marambionectus melanae. It's not a drawing. That's why I'm saying it's goofy. Elasmosaurs are members of Elasmosauridae, a family of plesiosaurs that flourished during the Cretaceous period about 145 million to 66 million years ago. If we're talking about Elasmosauridae, no. Elasmosaurs first evolved somewhere around 130 million years ago, so about 15 million years after the Jurassic period ended. These creatures were fully adapted to an aquatic lifestyle and had distinctive body plan comprising a streamlined body, paddle-like limbs, and a very long neck with up to 75 individual vertebrae. That would depend when referring to the vertebrae on the species. If we're referring to somebody like Elasmosaurus, then that is very possible. I don't know at the moment how many vertebra specifically Elasmosaurus had. I actually haven't really gone over it with most of the plesiosaur like species in general. But the thing is that when it comes to them being completely aquatic, this is true. It used to be theorized that plesiosaurs, most marine reptiles, had the ability to venture onto land and lay their eggs. But now we know by taking a deeper look into their biomechanics, they did not have the ability to move on land. They would simply have been beached and suffocated under their own weight. So the new species Marambionectus melani inhabited the Cretaceous oceans around 67 million years ago. Its fossils were recovered from the upper levels of the Lopez de Portodano formation in the James Ross Archipelago of the Antarctic Peninsula in February 2018. Oh, okay. So it's actually been a few years. I'm guessing they originally put this into a wastebasket. So just simply use they just put the fragments into Elasmosauridae and didn't name it. And now I guess some more research was put into it, and uh, now it has its own genus and species. The collected remains of Marambionectus melani include the trunk and part of the tail, the limbs, neck, and skull, as well as stomach stones called gastrolids, possibly used to mechanical digestion of food. So let's take a look at some of the other animals within the region, such as Mosasaurus. A certain species of Mosasaurus that has been discovered here. This specific animal, when it comes to the largest species, could reach up to possibly 60 feet in length and weigh somewhere around 15 to 20 tons, and was pretty much the dominant predator of the late Cretaceous oceans, especially during the Maastrichtian stage. So, this being somewhere around 67 million years ago, at around the same time as the Elasmosaurid. Um, this individual, let's see, Mosasaurus, Haf, Hofni. So this specific individual standing next to Gerard Butler, probably would have fed on different species of plesiosaur as well as different species of ammonites within the region. So wide range of cephalopods, as well as fish, different aquatic birds within the region, and let's see who else. Oh, the different toothed zoophactinid fish, virtually anything. Now, there would be certain instances where dinosaurs would happen to be swimming in the ocean. It's very possible that it might have picked off certain smaller individuals, but let's say it comes into something like, for instance, a larger species of sauropod or ceratopsian, a tyrannosaur. That's a bit of a risk for a mosasaur. These animals, despite their size and the structures of their skull, they're not really meant for tackling the land animals that were covered in armor and as well were just overall much more heavily built compared to the mosasaur. Even while swimming, these animals could still damage any sea creature within the ocean. So, this is a member of the Pliodecarpidae lineage of the mosasaurs. This is Pliodecarpus, which reached somewhere around 18 feet in length or a little over 5 meters. So, this animal was probably feeding on much smaller species of animals than the Mosasaurus hoffni. The Platycarpus was probably just focusing on different species of ammonites and fish, maybe even certain types of sharks. Now, looking at the skull structure of Platycarpus, it has been assumed that this might have been one of the smartest mosasaurs to exist. Also, looking at the different species of mosasaurs, like the mosasaurians themselves, they have been around for at least 130 million years if you're talking about the broad spectrum of mosasaurians. So they evolved around the same time as the elasmosaurids. However, the true mosasaurs, which the mosasaurids first evolved somewhere around 94 million years ago. They would branch off into different groups, such as the Russellosauria lineage of mosasaurs, which would also branch off into Tylosaurinae, which the tylosaurs are also um, widely mentioned within the mosasaur lineage, but it's often forgotten that it's not necessarily like they're not members of Mosasauridae. They're actually their own distinct lineage of Mosasaurian. Okay, so they were extracted in the first campaign, an intense and exhausting experience that was interrupted by a several-day snowstorm that isolated our research team in a shelter, waiting for better weather conditions to allow them to finish the work. This just doesn't happen. This doesn't just happen over in Antarctica. For instance, when different late Cretaceous fossils, especially over in Alberta, Canada, are being excavated. There are a lot of massive storms that will occur over there, even certain times Montana, especially over in different parts of Alaska, Russia. I think occasionally when fossils are being searched for over in Svalbard, Norway. So, yeah, it could vary depending on the location. Oh, okay. So, yeah, here's, I guess, part of the specimen just all around here. And they might be starting to put on plaster. So um, that's the substance that bones are put into before they're finally moved to a certain research station, so that way they don't break. The phylogenetic analysis recovered Marambionectes melani within the clade Wedilonectiae and as a sister group of the subfamily Aristonectinae. Okay, so Wedilonectiae. This is actually a very large subfamily of elasmosaurids. So they're actually quite large individuals within this specific subfamily that become even larger than Elasmosaurus itself. Restonectini, I'm not so sure about this specific subfamily. You have to remember that we're only talking about Elasmosaurid plesiosaurs in this instance, and there are many subfamilies that link to like different early Cretaceous and Jurassic subfamilies of pliosaurs, and we're not even talking about other members like the ichthyosaur family. So that's why, in some cases, like I won't be familiar with certain subfamilies. In this sense, the author suggests that some of the skeletal structures or characteristics of Aristonectines were acquired through a process that began in non-Aristonectine elasmosaurids before the appearance of this clade. The general preservation state of the specimen is exceptional, even of cranial material, although it is not complete. Yeah, it does look pretty good. We were able to confirm not only that it is a new species, but also has particular characteristics that allowed us to locate it as a form of transition between the two groups that inhabited the southern hemisphere giving light to the evolutionary process and the connection between other genera found in Chile, New Zealand, and Western Antarctica. Yes, over in Chile and even New Zealand, there have been a wide variety of different species of Elasmosaurid, possibly also Wedella nectiae as well. So let's see. Oh, so this is another species of mosasaur has been found in the area. This is Kaikileflu. And despite its appearance, this animal could reach over 33 feet in length or 10 meters and probably weighs somewhere around 7 to 9 tons. So it was a decent sized mosasaur. Um, this specific individual also had quite a robust skull compared to most other species of mosasaurs, even the larger species of Mosasaurus. This animal was definitely capable of crushing bone and so could make a quick use of the different species of ammonites within the region. Here's just simply another reconstruction. You can just see how broad of a jaw it has compared to the more slender skull Mosasaurus over here. So he has to be much more careful with his food, at least with what he picks. And then here we have a member of the Wendelonectae lineage of plesiosaurs. This is Marumbionectes, which it is estimated to be somewhere between 9 and 12 meters in length, or somewhere between 30 to 40 feet. And this animal could have weighed probably around 7 to 8 tons. And I guess like somewhere around 65% of the length of the body is just simply the neck itself. And this animal, though, how despite how large it was probably feeding on different species of fish, smaller ammonites within the region, squid, and these animals. Many tend to view the plesiosaurs like the Loch Ness monster legend over in Scotland, and having a straightforward, erect neck. And the truth is, if that were to occur to a plesiosaur, it would break its neck. These animals were simply meant for having a straight, horizontal neck structure and barely having much of a turn, or at least, what would it be? They weren't very maneuverable. Also, when it came to the speed of these animals, it's still highly debated on how that would have occurred. Okay, so, oh, that's it. Okay, hold on. Okay, so another animal in the region is the Morturneriae, which is a species of plesiosaur that's also been discovered off of Antarctica, and it has a very distinct dentary, unlike other species of plesiosaur within the region. Also, just a distinct type of skull structure as well. It's quite heavily built for its body size. Now, unfortunately, this still good drawing, but just doesn't have a tail fluke. Um, so yes, the plesiosaurs in the region would have had to be quite alert for the different species of mosasaurs, especially animals such as Kaikelefu, which definitely were capable of hunting these different species of plesiosaurs, even the larger species. So let me know. And I am very pleased with us finding a new species of plesiosaur over in Antarctica. But let me know in the comments what your favorite species of Antarctic marine reptile is. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guy Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know, because nothing is better than all animals all the time.